been missing. And speaking through their counsel this morning, we have been informed that the exercise of a discussion would only be undertaken after today's proceedings. In the event that they will be available, we will still undertake to avail ourselves for the same.
Hello to Wahinda Enoch for the second and main respondents. While the issue of mediating the parties have just been informed to me by my colleague Menda, so I don't have your my own any instructions. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord, I was present in court. Maybe, my lord, you can first conduct the proceedings for today, then the rest we can hand off to the court session. Except, my lord, my clients are ready for the cross-examination today, but they have instructed me to object to their former lawyers not cross-examining them. But because they had some information they shared during the time they were representing them, which was confidential and would prejudice them.
That is the very reason that you are saying. When you begin making statements for the different people, you cannot say anything.
Then, my lord, at an appropriate time, I will move to it so that I can present your objection and the court determines it.
Let them take the statement.
We're ready for Mr. Kibalama. Moses Nkonge, my lord.
The person next to us is supposed to be
Our proposed order, my lord, is counsel for the 10th respondent to begin, and we will do after him. Thank you.
What's your religion? Hold the Bible in your right hand and take oath. I swear by the Almighty God.
I swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give.
That the evidence I shall give.
Touching the matter now shall be the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth. So help me God.
My lord, we had requested for 2 witnesses. One is still in court, we are sorry that the other witness should move out. That's soon we are told about
Mr. Singh will step out briefly. We shall call you after this.
my lord, with regard to the case, presume that the after is admitted in evidence.
Yeah.
Mr. Nkonge, Moses Kibalama, there are 2 affidavits on record. I want to first identify them. Three affidavits of request. I want to first identify them and hold them for the purposes of evaluation. And maybe to guide you, the first one was made on have a look at this affidavit. Dated 14th day of September.
And I know special service background, qualifications, law of education, and profession.
Mr. Kibalama, for the purposes of explanation, can you repeat this one and quote your full names?
My full name is Moses Nkome Kibalama.
Your age?
59 years.
29 years old. What is your profession or what do you do for a living?
Well, I have some businesses.
Pardon?
Some businesses.
You need to be allowed for court to get your evidence to be audible.
Yes.
You have private businesses.
Yes.
Apart from the private business, what do you do? You have another business. What is your profession?
Well, I got a diploma in business administration, which I attained at Makerere College of Pharmacy in the year 1995.
1995. I've also been told that you are a former police officer.
I joined the police in the year 1974.
And you also had several trade in Sandhurst.
And that is Costa Rica.
And that puts you at the high trade police officer.
Yeah, mostly the VIP protection and related services.
VIP protection of the former president, I think.
Yes, from President Obote, or Mwanga, President Unites, and there was indeed 3 offices.
So I'll be very right to think that you are very knowledgeable in the political dispensation and the history of that.
Yes, I have.
Now, there's an affidavit of 14th September.
Yes.
Is that your affidavit?
By virtue of my signature here, I would say it's my affidavit.
You can return that one. There's another one. There's this one also. It is also dated 14th September.
The same day?
You check, read the date.
The date, 14th day of September 2020.
2020. Possibly the same day. And before the same condition of oath, or drafted by the same lawyer?
No,
No, that is a different lawyer.
this is a different lawyer.
So in the space of one day, you moved 2 different lawyers taking the evidence.
That's what I'm looking for.
I don't know.
Then the original one files in the original bundle
Yes.
is the one of 14.
There's another on my road.
So, no, the other one is. Is it for the main?
It is filed the 15th September, my lord. Actually,
Is it for the miscellaneous application or for the main course? That's the confusion. Are you referring to affidavits of the main course or the one on 15th is a miscellaneous course?
But my road, the one I'm talking
which has this return. This one. This is my senior certificate.
my road is a miscellaneous application.
You put his right.
There is no one in the course, so we are getting it from the application.
Yes, it is. It is in the application. It's relevant.
But my road, it is relevant, is in the application.
Yeah, you should guide us. I was having the file for the course on
Must have
when it
been.
was missing, I got concerned. You see,
Then my road, the last one, is the supplementary in the course. Mr. Kibalama, I can look at this one. Select that. Are those your full names and that is your signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can understand. Now, I have a simple question. On 14th September, you saw an affidavit, in support of the intention to change the name from NURP to NUP, National Unity Platform. And that is after the 14th September. Is that true?
Oh, which year, sir?
2020. This year. And that is the first affidavit I gave you. Is that your evidence?
Can you return it, sir?
That is it, Mr. Kibalama. And in that affidavit you say,
take us to the paragraph.
first in paragraph 5, you say that the applicants have no local standard. That's what you say, paragraph 5. And this specifically you are saying that the application is frivolous, responsive, is bad in law. And indeed, you are saying that all what the founder members, alleged founder member applicants, whatever they are saying are falsehoods. That's what you are saying in paragraph 5.
That's what I said.
That's what you say.
Yes.
Now, in the last affidavit, the supplemental affidavit, my lord, you say in paragraph 3 that after making further consultations, that's what you say,
Yes, sir.
with the new lawyers.
Yes.
You acknowledge you had other lawyers, then you go to new lawyers.
Yes, sir.
One, what motivated you?
Get my own lawyers.
No, you are not getting new lawyers. You are making consultation. What motivated you to consult other lawyers? You have read that. You read the affidavit. You read the application. You made evidence. That very day, what motivated you to consult other lawyers?
Well, since I'm not a lawyer myself, when the matter came up, to my knowledge, I had to do a lot of consultation in order to be guided.
When you say when the matter came up to your knowledge, it came to your knowledge, you made an affidavit on 14th.
Yes, sir.
After that, you had another matter?
No, I just needed guidance from what the kind of consultation. So that's how I got that new lawyer, and the lawyer had to give me guidance on how to handle this matter.
Who are these new lawyers?
My lawyer is the gentleman seated near you.
What is his name? Do you need to check on the paper to know his name?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Is it you should seek permission of
You
court
seek-
to
you seek
if you want to
permission to
refresh your
read.
mind.
Yes.
Because we are
If you
not
don't
supposed to-
remember, it's not an offense.
Okay.
Then you should
Mr.
not.
Yamukama, you seated.
Mr. Yamuka.
This is Mr. Yamkama, who is seated next to you. Is the lawyer consulted.
You are consulted.
And Mr. Byamukama, the lawyer seated next to me, after consulting him, he told you to do another affidavit.
He advised me to do another affidavit in order.
No, before he advised you, but you did not have it in mind, you were just consulting.
No, I was consulting for legal guidance.
Was that enough motivation?
Yeah, it was. Me, for example, me, I'm not a lawyer, not studied in that area. I need to consult, learn people. Yes, sir. At least.
So you consulted. So please, did you also give him the other affidavit you had?
No, the funny thing with the first animal that we were talking about, I was in one area, I was traveling. Then colleagues and friends in NUP invited me. That it was very urgent to consult them. But they didn't have the main body of the affidavit. I was requested.
Mr. Kibalama, that is what you're saying is different. This again the affidavit.
I signed.
That's your affidavit.
Yes, yes. I signed the
That's what I want.
the last page.
That's what I
of
want.
that affidavit.
Now let's go to your new lawyer, Byamukama. Who are the old lawyers?
The all the lawyers were
Who are they?
Anthony Wameri, Wameri and the company advocate. And there were also other lawyers from the reporters of NUP.
Are you also aware that the applicants are represented by Byamukama?
No,
Is he the same person?
these people's names are almost similar, so I can't differentiate the names. But there is a Byamukama representing the other party.
There's also Byamukama representing you,
Yes.
and this person.
This person represents me.
Is also Byamukama. Now, what is very critical, what I want you to tell you, what prompted you? There's what motivated, there's what prompted you to make another affidavit. Because you had been satisfied that you had read the application, you had read the allegation of the party founders, and you said these are falsehoods, they are not true. In a space of only 4 days, you get motivated, you get prompted, and you visit Byamukama. Who referred you to Byamukama? Have you dealt with that way before?
No, No, I've never dealt with a lawyer before, but a friend of
In your
mine,
59 years of...
yeah,
Even on your
a friend of mine that I consulted told me that that lawyer is a good lawyer, is a smart lawyer, and these are the ingredients I was looking for from a lawyer.
Would the smart lawyer change the fact of the evidence? So that's what you did.
I don't think so, but he would be able to guide me further.
My lot of objections to that question. That one touches my technical question. It was
Let him answer. If he says no, then please. Unless you're feeling let him answer. Unless he objects and
Now, Mr. Kibalama. Yes. You know, you met this new lawyer, Mr. Kibalama here. Biamukam. You explained that you had read the evidence on court record. You read the application in support of this. What followed? What advice were you looking for? You're a former president, party chairperson. You had sworn an affidavit.
To answer your question, what you call an affidavit at that time, to me it was...
Forget about the affidavit, the evidence before court.
Even the evidence before court, it was not clear evidence before court, or in the court process. But I was given a third page to sign because I was rushing to Kayunga for where I could spend the night. People told me, if you are not here tomorrow, then we may miss out to what we are
Did you return the copy?
Never.
Never returned the copy.
I never returned.
So what were you consulting on? Because it appears you had no evidence.
By then I didn't have any evidence, but I went on consult, and that is what drew my concern.
What I'm interested in, what was the subject of consultation when you visited the Biamukam here?
Well, I narrated the story vaguely as I explained to Biamukam that there is a group of lawyers that consulted me over these issues of the party. Then I chose to inform him exactly what was going on, so he advised me accordingly that was a mistake. He might have signed a document without knowing the content.
Now, in paragraph 7, in paragraph 6, you alluded certain affidavit, and you seem to have been informed of what was in that affidavit. Now you are telling court, you are given a last copy, you moved up because you're traveling, but when you met your new lawyer, you are simply telling him, there's an affidavit I did, this is what was in the affidavit, and that's what you said in 6. And in 7, I can read it for you.
Yes, sir.
I wish to clarify that the statement in my first affidavit, prepared by Irquab. That's what you're saying in 7. Were hurriedly made without thorough advice and reflection of what was made in my second affidavit using the new lawyers, withdrawing the first and setting the truth as I know. So you were simply saying there was an affidavit, and you are stating the facts,
Yes.
contradicting what those affidavits, the evidence you gave
Yes, sir.
in the affidavit of Irquab.
Yes, sir.
And my question is very simple. You want to brief, you signed the last page without reading the contents, but you were able to tell these new lawyers that there is an affidavit there, and I did not give a proper account
That's right.
and the accuracy.
Mm.
Where? Because you never had a chance to require those accuracies and accounts.
Now, the time by then was around 8 p.m. and I was traveling to Kayunga district.
Forget about
for
the
a night. Now, this document, what you call evidence now, I need to read through the document. And that's the fact that I told my lawyer. The fact that I just signed the last page, that's where I instructed my Secretary General that before you hand over these documents, which is signed actually, the signed one, before you hand it over to the lawyers, take a telephone and read to me the text of that document, the affidavit that we purportedly signed. Because we had no time to read it, Is that so hurriedly?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kibalama.
Yes, sir.
I want to get my question. I want to be very clear. One, a police officer in those ranks, you're only given the last stage to sign, and that's all.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what happened.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we want people to believe.
You will hear from us.
After 4 days, you meet another lawyer, a new lawyer. He advises that the evidence is before one. What were these evidence he was talking about? Because you seem not to have had any evidence according to your testimony here.
You are just shown here that
What is interested? What were the evidence before Guago, which were telling the lawyer that it was false?
the confusion now is that council are bringing in Ukwago, whom I don't know.
No, they are not found.
The law firm which I don't know whatsoever. I called upon Anthony Wameri to testify on this because me, I signed before Wameri is here, is a mature person, he can narrate.
Let's forget about Guago. Now, in paragraph 7A,
Were you aware that they're being sued?
Yes, sir. It came about that very week that there was.
So you had the document.
And I did prove. They didn't ever surprise
How
me.
did you know that there was a suit?
They are lawyers, they are not people lawyers. But they never gave us those documents, read through, and get to understand what the shoot was all about.
So afterwards,
That's the truth,
the
sir.
others gave you the document.
Yes, they retained all the documents. By the time I was given signing the last page of the affidavit, I didn't even read the body of the affidavit because I was traveling at the time of the 8 p.m. that evening. And the lawyers we are talking about, I've never known before.
That's enough.
now I'll get to the case, Mr. Kibalama.
Yes, sir.
In paragraph 7A
Of which one?
of the supplemental the affidavit of 17th day, September, you say that the resolution and minutes of the alleged extraordinary meeting held on 22nd Feb at Hotel Triangle are not true as such. A meeting did not take place. I filed the said minutes and resolution in the Electoral Commission for the sake of changing the party name as required in the party constitution.
Yes, sir.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I say.
Former police officer, you say you filed falsified resolutions and minutes to a public body.
The time is 11 o'clock.
Not falsified.
You are saying there, let me get the actual.
They are not true.
They are not true.
So if they are not true, they are false.
They are false. And it is who filed them. As a police officer, you must have. Did you know that it's a criminal? It's a criminal charge.
I don't know, I'm not well versed with the law, but for us in politics, there was a need for filing records at the Electoral Commission, and those documents were actually timed. That you, on such a date, you need to furnish the Electoral Commission with the rightful information. So what?
Are you telling court? Are you telling court that one, you need to furnish the Electoral Commission with the rightful information?
Yes.
That's what you are telling court.
Yes.
And you're also telling court that what you submitted was false declarations. Can I also ask a question?
Yes.
Are you saying that we had timelines at the Electoral Commission for you to file the change of name? Was it a public requirement that by statutory requirement that you needed to file the change of name by this date? That needed you to force
Yes,
the declaration?
The PPOA, the Security Properties and Organizations Act, clarifies clearly that this kind of records have to be filed not later than 6 months after the party has held its delegates conference.
Now, the question here is the change of name from NURP to NU. So you are simply telling court that you are time bound to make sure that you file those declarations for change of name.
Yes, sir.
So that means you had changed the name. Forget about what you filed. Forget about what you filed. The intention to change the name is what you're saying. Because of that need, you needed to file certain documents. Forget whether they were falsified or not.
Yes, sir.
For change of name.
Yes, sir.
So it is evidence that you filed for the change of name.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Boy.
We filed.
No, wait. Forget what you filed. Forget about what you filed. What court is interested in that you filed for a change of name
Yes.
from NRP to NUP.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm concentrating on the criminal part of it. What I've already captured. I want to. Did you know that giving out false declaration director commissioner to a public officer is an offense under the penal code? Because you're a police officer. You will be like you went to Sandhurst. Huh?
Yes.
Okay? As a police officer, in the VLIP, did it occur to you that once you sit somewhere, forge, falsify results, public code, to a statutory body managing an extra business and a public office, within the time that we are in now, you are committing an offense?
Well, I really did enter that I was committing an offense.
Are you
But
committing?
the full understanding of this matter.
No,
that-
wait, one. I'm the one guiding you. You realize that you are committing an offense afterwards.
Yes.
Is it your evidence that you commit an offense?
Yes, sir, because
My lord, I want to make an application that we are faced with a self-confessed witness, criminal, and I make an application under section 98 that that this court is blessed with powers, hearing powers, that during trial, where it occurs that there was a criminal offense committed by a person, this court makes a finding and forwards the file to DPP. For further prosecution. This has already appeared for you and confessed to that. That's not which my lord does not do. I feel that it will form part of the final determination. We shall proceed, Mr.
No, wait for the vote.
Council shall make submission on the issue and the court shall make its ruling while disposing of the main.
Mr. Kibalama, is this your first, you've been the lead of this party since 2004?
yes, sir.
Is this the first time, this is not the first time you are applying for the change of name?
No, it's not the first time.
So since 2004, can confirm this one in court that we have made several requests for the change of party name.
Not several, but
Some.
About
four.
okay, different.
How many?
Twice.
Can you tell
No,
us
there are
the
3
details?
times, my lord. I want to make that 3 times. Check on the 22nd November 2012. You put the request to the commission. I want to give you an discount for this one report. Yes? Then that was rejected. And then the second one was on 1st February 2013. The first one in 2012. The second one, 1st February 2013. This time we wanted to change Independence National Unity Party. I want to remind you. Then this is the last one, the third one. The one from NUP, the one of NUP is the last one. Okay? So your desire, and this is my question, this is not your first time that you are changing this party name. Your desire all along, since 2012, you had wanted to change the party name. And I believe when it was finally changed, you really succeeded what you wanted at that point. Because you really struggled to have it changed.
You can see the length of the name, pronunciation, whatnot. Our people from the grassroots could not easily pronounce these long letters and words. So we wanted to bring that party name. Really, if you look at the Independent Party of Uganda, whatever, then you look at the NUP. It's really short, very short and well abbreviated.
So it is your evidence that indeed NURP, when you remove the Republican and it is NUP, it is short and it is very, people appreciate it this time.
That's how we look at it. That's what the intention was.
That is the
To shorten the name.
Shorten the name.
And have a shorter way of abbreviation which could be easy to the natives of this land.
And your evidence is that the grassroots, the election that you involved in, would appreciate a shorter name.
Yes,
And indeed, National Unity Platform, a shorter name,
yes,
which is appreciated by the grassroots.
yes.
Thank you very much. So, your intention, your desire was done by the Electoral Commission. With respect to what transpired, it has now shortened. What has happened? What is so weird now? That this shortened name, you don't want to hear about it. What has motivated you?
It's not me who doesn't want to hear about it.
No, I'm talking about your evidence.
Yes.
I'm talking about your evidence. What you wanted since 2012 to date is shorten the name. It has been achieved.
Today it has worked because you hear everybody can easily pronounce the word.
So now, everyone now can pronounce it.
Yes.
But you are saying it is not you. You are talking about another force. Help court. You see, the moment you're in court, it is where court can help you. Who are these people who don't want to hear about it? You are saying that it is not me. Me, I've done my part, I changed it as the party president, as the chairman of it since 2012. But you're saying there's another person who don't want to hear about this. Help court. Who are these other people? We are going to list them.
I didn't mention that. There are other people. I did say that there are other people who are interested or not
You are saying it
interested.
is not me. Who are these? Your evidence is that it is not me. Remember, you look and say it is not me. Me, I've done my part. It is now shorter name. It is appreciated by the grassroots. It is not me. Who is this?
Because as you may understand what's going on currently,
No, I'm concentrating on this.
I, tried to bring in new people in the political grouping, which of course I was leading, and the new people, the new group which joined us, got so much interested, and we said, you know, you can take on the administration. With us, we don't have a problem with it.
And for record, so you are saying that the new group you are talking about is respondent 3 up to 8. They're the new people you are talking about. That you agreed that they should take over.
I wish I saw that.
No, I can read. Number 3 is Chagoran Sentam Robert. Number 4 is David Lewis. Number 5 is Aisha Kavanda. Number 6 Joel Senyoni. Number 7 is Flavia Karure. And number 8 is Nyans Fred Sentam. You are telling us that you agreed this one can take leadership.
Yeah.
That is your evidence.
They could take leadership positions, including the members that were in NURP and I, who were to be assigned the new duties.
Because your complaint that you were never assigned new duties. Is that your complaint before?
It's unfortunate I was not assigned any duties. I was sidelined.
You were sidelined.
But I didn't have
what is recording? What is recording? So if you had not been sidelined, you wouldn't be here.
I don't see the circumstances, because the circumstances that bring me to be here.
Is it because you are sidelined?
Very unexplainable. You can't explain the circumstances why I'm here. Me, all I did, I thought I was operating within a law. Then I brought in these new people, even recruitment of new people in the party. And the intention was to bring our party into limelight of real politics.
Yes.
And for me, whether given a portion of what to do or not, it didn't concern me at all. I knew the thing was moving positively. I knew guys were there. You know, I didn't have any bad feeling about it.
Where did the bad feeling come in? Later, after some time? What happened?
The bad feeling probably could be that all the people that I came with to join the other team, people who should be in rightful positions, were all sidelined and were not assigned the duties. They're not invited for meetings. So that one, I left it to those guys to fight it out.
Now,
but my people were also sidelined. I don't know why.
Can this one also mean that's why you had to go and consult another lawyer? Because when you had these complaints from your other colleagues you came in with, probably is it what prompted you? Because that's what I was asking.
Yes.
Is it what prompted you?
It's one of the issues.
One of the issues. So the reason the evidence changed is that when you consult and said my colleagues have not been considered, which is among the issues, it prompted to have another evidence on record. Yeah. You say it loud, what is it, sorry? It prompted you to have another evidence because you're... Say it quite.
I can say it clearly, because when we brought in the party, we brought in a group of other members, other administrators, managers. We didn't intend to be thrown out of the arrangement. So today we are out of the limelight, we are out of the activities, we are out of action. So that's why, yes, that's the reason with us, we took it lightly because I read that part first.
So, Mr. Kibalama, you are simply telling court that your actual grievance is that the people you came in with to join these other new leaders were sidelined. That is your actual grievance.
I wouldn't call it a grievance.
But that is your concern.
I could just call it a concern. But it's not a grievance of some sort.
And you are simply maybe suggesting that if this group plus you, if they assign other duties, you will have no problem. And you get back into the remnant probably.
No, I don't. Even if I wouldn't be there,
yes.
I as a person,
yes.
but at the moment my team of NURT was clearly integrated and given responsibility, who would expect to have an harmonious kind of, working arrangement?
So you are simply telling court that actually forget about falsified results, forget about what I'm saying, but if I get back, if my people I came with, if they can have duties and responsibilities, I have no problem. And that is what you want, that's what you're telling court.
But now there is a matter of...
No, forget about the matter. Forget about the matter. Your grievance is that the people you came with, and I believe the people you came with include Simba Paul. So Simba Paul is also dissatisfied because of this. That is your evidence. He was also sidelined. He's out of the arrangement. And possibly that's why he's also aggrieved.
I wouldn't say he's aggrieved.
But it's not happy.
But probably it's not happy.
It's not happy.
Not aggrieved as such.
Okay.
Because this is...
He had the same concern.
This is a political party, this is politics, this is whatever. So...
Now, Mr. Kibalama, you've worked with several regimes, and you know party changes membership. I want your wise advice, because at your age, you have seen a lot. Did you expect, once you invite other members, to still hold on and have those interests and your members to be consulted? Is it definitely? Is it in the constitution that the moment we change leadership, I should always be consulted, and my other members should be given duties and roles?
Well, it's naturally that
It's natural that
when you are the outgoing leader of grouping of this sort of kind, you need to be consulted, you need to give wisdom, advice, and so on. But when you are sidelined and you are nowhere to be seen in a hierarchy, probably to me you leave it at that. But
I want to thank you very much for that. But the one last question. You know there's a National Consultative Forum where all political parties
yes,
have that forum and they meet at the Electoral Commission.
yes, sir.
And you are still a representative of National Unity Platform, as per the records.
What I know, as per records at
At the Electoral Commission, you are still a representative of National Unity Platform. Forget about other things we're talking about.
and I'm the Secretary Budget and Finance Committee.
You are also on top of that, the Secretary of Finance and Budget Committee.
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that organ.
You're very welcome. And possibly, when you say you are sidelined, these very party leaders and members nominated you as a registered political party that has effectively changed the name. Forget about what was right. It is this party, the members, the National Unity Platform, you are representing in that National Electoral Commission or National Consultative Forum, where you are also a member. Where also a member.
Yes, sir. The fact is that when we change the party name,
When you change party name?
yes, when we change the party name, the membership or lifespan of National Consultative Forum was still ongoing, because we renew our membership every 5 years or every 4 years of Parliament. Now, when we came to the National Unity Platform, I still retained that representation because time had not come to renew the membership.
And these party leaders, your party has not recalled you. There's no such a
The
thing.
party has not recalled me because there is no way they call me.
No ways, they have not recalled. That's what I want.
Yes,
There's
sir.
no letter that effect that you have been recalled from that
No, sir.
National Consultative Forum as a member of National Unity Platform.
No, sir. I still remain a representative.
But you still want more of the duties in the party.
Of course, many reasons why I started that political party. many reasons to have this country, to serve our communities, and there is a lot to do.
Most of that, those are the questions I have for the
Oh. Well, my lord, I have a number for the gentleman. Mr. Kibalama, my name is Medam Sekwenalwega. I have questions for you. Confirm that at the age of 59, please don't communicate with those people. Communicate with court. Or you need your tablets. No, you apply to court to have your tablets. Do you also need water in addition to the tablets? You're just going to chew them. Please, my lord, through you, may the supplier from the gentleman's medicine supply the same before we get into another catastrophe.
Were they carried or no? If they're not,
Are you ready for the questions before you receive your medicine? Thank you. At the age of 59, you are considered a man of advanced age in Uganda, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that age comes with a level of wisdom which you carry with you.
Yes, sir.
Good.
My lord, I sit with the doctor. My client is saying he's sick and he is taking medication. I'll request to give him some time so that he first takes the medicine.
I object. I object.
we told him, are you ready to proceed? And the father said, not clear. He asked him, are you ready to take the patient? And he said so.
My lord, you can say it out of fear.
So, but you can be seated. Fear. He's a police officer. Every time the police officer. Don't make it appear like now the fellow is this and he can kill us anything when he wants. Now when you begin throwing in a towel for him before you please let him do it. If you're not okay, please let us do it. It's your health we are interested in first.
Before we leave the subject, my lord, and having followed you, I would very strongly apply at this forum that you write another book on professional ethics at the bar. As a celebrated author. But my lord, before you do that, I will continue with the cross-examination. And Mr. Kibalama, that the wisdom you carry at that age comes with a level of responsibilities to this country, correct?
I do think so.
You think so. And that you know what has caused turbulence in the political history and life of this country, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. Where do you reside?
Currently,
Yes, currently.
I've been in Bali.
You've been in Mbale. Do you have a residence in Mbale?
For his security, let's reserve the residence.
No, he has mentioned already.
Just leave it at that.
All right. For how long have you resided in Mbale? I'll not go to whether you intend to continue.
2 weeks now.
For 2 weeks. Good. And that you have been under the protection of security. True, false?
Well,
Yes, no.
I've been under state protection.
You've been under state protection. He has answered.
My Lord, I pray questions touching to my client security don't be touched by the police. If the facility in AC, but that's an ACE class, I pray you go to prevail is over. And my clients answer the question which are relevant to after that.
Don't guide on what
Most obliged, my lord. I do not intend to restate my early application.
Okay. Let's have a bit of interjection. We shall spend the whole day here.
Thank you. My lord, I am very well guided and schooled in knowing how to protect witnesses. I am an officer of this court. So my colleague would rather best settle his intentions of interjections. So, Mr. Kibalama, did you apply for security?
I didn't apply for security.
You did not apply for security. Good. Let me take you to these affidavits of the affidavits that where you signed. You said the third page, the one originally drafted by Lukwagan Company Advocates. This particular one of 14th September. Look at it. Did you say you saw it, you signed it at 8 p.m. and you were heading to Kayunga?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give it to me. So after signing this affidavit, did you proceed to Kayunga?
I did.
You did. Okay. And you signed it hurriedly, without adequate consultation.
Yes, sir, because I didn't read even the content of the affidavit.
Okay. So the second one, which was prepared by Marunji, Baingana and Company Advocates, you had consulted, and this time you were said. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did you sign it from?
I signed it from a hotel.
From your hotel. Which hotel is this?
It's a very small place at Rubaga Road.
At Rubaga
I
Road.
told the friends that was where I was.
That's where you were. With who? Who was in attendance, sir?
There was Simba O Kagombe and
Okay.
Someone who delivered the papers.
Someone who delivered the
Who
papers.
sent us the papers?
Who sent you the papers? Was he working with Barunji and Company, with your lawyers?
No.
That is Barunji Baigana.
No, sir.
Did you establish his or her name? Yes or no?
It was the name of Prosper.
Prosper. Okay.
He was a friend of mine. So.
He was a friend of yours. Is he a lawyer? Since he's your friend. Is he a lawyer?
He's not a lawyer.
He's not a lawyer. Is that all?
Yes,
That is all.
that's all.
Okay.
I wrote my medicine. The daughter said
Do you need time to store your medicine?
just a minute.
It's all right. You ready, sir? So after going to Kayunga on the day you saw the first affidavit. How many days did you spend in Kayunga?
2 days.
2 days. Presumably you came back on the 17th or 16th,
Somewhere there.
somewhere around. Good. Mr. Moses Chibalamanko, please look at this affidavit. Lord, I'm showing you the affidavit in miscellaneous application 492 and 493 of 2020. Is that your signature, sir? You already owned it earlier.
Yes, sir.
When was it signed? Going by that date.
14th day of September 2020.
At what time did you sign it?
This was around 4 p.m.
Around 4 p.m. Please return it to me. It is my document. So, may I proceed, my lord? After signing the first affidavit hurriedly, on 14th September 2020, at 8 p.m., you went to Kayunga, spent there 2 days, but on the same date, at 4 p.m., this time earlier than the original affidavit, you signed another affidavit before another lawyer. Does that propel your credit as an old man?
Well, it was a critical moment that, when I consulted, I was advised that you made a mistake by signing the first affidavit, and the lawyers actually warned me never ever to sign any legal document, which is without reading the body.
Incidentally, thank you for that information, but that's not my question. The question rotates on date and time. You signed an affidavit on 14th September at 8 p.m. Immediately after signing that hurriedly, you proceeded to Kayunga and returned after 2 days. But still on the same date at 4 p.m., presumably before you signed the affidavit drafted by Rukwaga and Company advocates, you signed a retracting affidavit at your hotel on the same date, earlier than the original affidavit. Which is which?
My lord, there are those affidavits these people are talking about, and the documents they are talking about are from Rukwago and Company advocates. I don't know Rukwago and Company advocates.
The ones you signed at night.
They were brought to me in a private place.
So now, the question is asking you,
But
is another document of the same date, referring to another affidavit of the same date. The question was just around that. Not about which lawyer. You're the same person, because with the other one you signed one with Kayunga affidavit, then you signed another one retracting. The other one, you were in a hurry on the same day.
My lord, the law firm that is being talked about has no relationship, nothing to do with that law firm. Therefore, when I was not there, to retract that is talking about, it's a surprise to me, because
The question is not about lawyers, it's about the documents you signed. Now, if you signed one earlier, how would you have retracted later? You signed the other one later, but now the one retracting is earlier. That's the question he's asking you. I hope I get a good
Yes, that's correct, my lord. The retracting one is signed 4 hours before the one being retracted.
That's the question. It's around the time.
My lord, I signed the documents without knowing the content, without knowing without even having the background.
Forget the content. When did you sign? You see, he's pushing you towards one of the two must be a lie. You're either telling a lie on the other one, or you are telling a lie on this one.
Or a lie in court.
Where is the truth? That's what it's trying to establish. If you are saying I signed at 8, how come you signed this one at 4? It cannot be that at 8 you are signing, and then at 4 you had already signed something. So one of the two there must be a lie somewhere. So between the two, where is the lie? That's the question he's asking you.
Now, all I remember is signing a third page of a document which is now being ordered. At 8. Without at 8. Without me reading through.
Don't get about reading. It's about now the document.
Yes.
One document is at 8. This one is at 8. And this one is at 4.
Now,
Put your question, please.
Mr. Kibalama, Central Chibalamako, Nkonge, you're aged 59. You have a diploma in business administration. You have been a senior police officer, very highly trained at the expense of this country. Okay? You signed an affidavit. Okay. You signed did you say the third page? They gave you the third page. My lord, I would invite you to look at the affidavit, the original affidavit, where he signed the third page. Drafted by Wagon Company and Wameli and Company. Now, since he recognizes Wameli and Company, and Wameli is here. Look, this is page 1, page 2, and this is page 3. First, would you show your signature on that page 3?
I don't see my signature.
Did you sign page 3?
I signed the last page.
Which
of that affidavit.
you have been categorical, page 3.
I signed the last page of that affidavit.
Good. Now let's go back to the question. You signed it at 8 p.m.
Yes,
And you had been called hurriedly, correct?
yes, sir.
Who called you?
I had private arrangements with my colleagues and friends.
Which colleague?
Because
Which colleague called you, sir?
there's a gentleman in Kayunga district with whom we had
The person who called you to come and sign this document is called who?
the person who called me to sign these documents was called Luis Lubongoya.
Good. He's the one you've been referring to as your colleague. Correct?
Yes, because he's a colleague within a political party.
He's your colleague in your party.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So you sign at 8.
Yes, sir.
But then there is the retracting affidavit, which you had signed at 4 p.m. before you signed this last page. How do you explain the timing? And from signing this particular last page, you rushed to Kayunga
No.
for 2 days.
Me, I was not so particular about the dates or timing of these two affidavits.
You have been particular. It came from you
I was not so particular on that particular document
on the
that
timing.
I signed.
Okay.
What I remember is that by around 8 p.m., I was approached by a group of lawyers at Bukoto.
Very good.
At Bukoto, they gave me a document to sign, but the document only contained the last.
That is understood, sir.
The last what? Without reading through.
Mr. Sharma.
Now I left the responsibility with the Master Secretary General. I told him
Mr. Kibalama, do not be a paper tiger. A paper tiger receives a question and answers his own. Now answer mine. Okay, 8 p.m. Was it dark? 8 p.m. Was it dark?
it was dark.
Good. And you proceeded to Kayunga. And you returned after 2 days. Let's go back to the one of 4 p.m. Was it dark also?
4 p.m. it was daytime.
It was daytime. At a location in Mengo, at your hotel? Rubaga, at your hotel. Now, did you read this affidavit, which was prepared by Barunji, Bayingana, and Company Advocates. Did you read through? Good. And it was retracting what was in the original one. By this time, did you know what the contents of the original one, which you signed after Lewis Wongoya called you? Did you know the contents, sir?
I didn't know the content because I didn't read it. That's what I'm told.
But you were still retracting the contents.
I just signed the last page of that.
Yeah. Do you know where this affidavit of Barunji and Bayingana was drafted from?
I don't know.
Were you there when they were drafting it?
Yeah, when they just wrote when it was
Or prepared?
prepared
Mm.
with the facts that I happened to read it through.
Mm.
Before
And you confirmed them?
Yeah.
Well, my lord, for the good of court and time, I will leave the question for now on this. May I say that you are a horrendous liar? Would I be right to say you're a liar? Or somewhere you have lied?
You'd be wrong.
I would be wrong. Have you ever told a lie anywhere?
Not in my life.
Not in your life. So even when you were retracting contents of an affidavit you did not know, you were not telling a lie.
I wasn't.
Even when you were signing an affidavit, retracting another which you had not signed, you were not telling a lie. Now, let me just help you to know part of the law. Under section 94(1), as a police officer of the Penal Code, when you tell a lie on oath, you commit an offense called perjury. And you are liable on conviction to a term not exceeding 2 years in prison. Does that help you to apologize to court?
I don't straight so much.
Sorry?
I don't straight.
No, it's information. Since you may not, you sometimes forget about it. It's not a threat. Now, do you wish to apologize to court for any lie?
No need, because I haven't told any lie here.
Good. Under the Political Parties and Organizations Act, which you referred to gladly, particularly section 15(3), any political party or organization or any person which or who B furnishes information knowing it to be false in any material particular commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a period not exceeding 200 currency points or imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or both. You have confirmed on oath during cross-examination earlier that you submitted false returns knowingly. What do you have to say about the offense you committed?
Well, by the time we worked out these papers and minutes and other resolutions and whatnot, it wasn't clear to us. We didn't intend it. We didn't know we were bound to commit an offense. But we were fulfilling.
What was not clear?
We are fulfilling.
You were, something was not clear.
Yeah, we were fulfilling our statutory.
But you have been a hold of this position, you said, how many years? 16. You have an obligation towards filing returns, and you are not aware that when you file false returns, they attract a sanction. It's not to use this quoting.
All documents.
Because you have hold of that position for 16 years.
Yes.
You must know this act in and out. Consequences, penalties, sanctions. So you're saying you are not aware that by making falsehoods, because you said you made false returns,
My lord.
it's an offense?
My lord.
A former police officer?
My lord.
You see, sometimes what I don't want is you to go out celebrating that I put up a spirited fight in saying things which were not relevant. Well, you're a senior person, and that's why he's insisting on that. You see, we don't want to set a bad precedent that someone can get to court and say whatever he wants to say. He said, me, I don't remember that. Me, I don't know these things. If I was committing an offense, I'm not aware whether I was committing an offense. A retired police officer. Now, what will the ordinary person in our village say who has been conscripted in the party?
My lord, politics in practice is far different in acts and actions.
But you're committing an offense.
Because
and you're supposed to be a leader. If your party goes through
what could have,
and you become a prime minister or a vice president.
my lord, what could have prompted that kind of thing is that we had negotiated with a team, another political team on the other side, and they were supposed to facilitate us with the little money that would be given out to delegates in the form of lunch, tea break, and others, and then we were supposed to pay them a transport fund. But by the time we reached on that big day of the project, of that meeting, various conference, our friends on the other party did not honor their promises. Now, you were
not pushed you to forge.
that pushed us to see.
We rather commit offenses, but we have to get it through.
No, because we had already notified the electoral commission, they are not saying the other documents. Now, what we did was to sit forward and make minutes of the particular meeting. We knew what the content of the minutes would be. We knew what our intention we intended with that particular meeting. So we wrote minutes. Not really that we were committing an offense, but we are bridging a gap.
But the law allows you to bridge the gap.
I think actually, my lord, the question is, was he submitting returns that he knew to be false? Simple as that. Whether he knew the law is a different matter. As you submitted these returns, did you know they were false?
There's no.
Did you know they were false or not?
I didn't know. Because when we presented the documents to the electoral commission,
okay,
they honored them. They accepted them.
Okay.
So
so they believe, was the electoral commission wrong in believing you, a person who had run a political party for 16 years?
They were not wrong.
They were not wrong in believing you. Good. Do you also agree with me that when a political party is registered, it is a public entity? Yes or no?
And a public good.
And a public good. Good. You were on camera saying that you were promised $5 million before you left the party leadership. Is that correct?
Where was this, sir?
No, I'm asking, is that correct? You were promised $5 million or not?
I'm not aware of that.
You're not aware.
No.
That's okay, that's the answer I want. Is it also true that you were selling this political party?
No, sir.
You were not selling.
Political parties are never sold.
I never saw.
And there is no supermarket in Kampala that you can find that a political party can be sold.
That's all right. That's correct.
In any case, you may want to ask from those colleagues overwards whether they vote a political party.
I will not cross-examine them. I'll cross-examine them. Now, first, if we look at the affidavit, this one, the one sworn on 14th September 2020 at 4 p.m. You state that there were 41 persons who attended the delegates conference. That's in paragraph 7. My lord, the one in the miscellaneous application. You say we were 41 people or delegates conference to elect the new office bearers. We were 41 people who participated and elected the new office bearers unopposed. Is that true? You can read for yourself since you are literate. Please read paragraph 7. And loud.
In preparation for the 2021 elections. In July 2020, we held another meeting at Makishu Gardens Hotel, Kati, where we chose new office bearers for the NAP party. And I, my Secretary General called Simba Paulo Kagombe, handed over office to the new executive. Once again, due to financial constraints and the ban on political meetings under the COVID-19 regulations, we could not convene a delegates conference to elect new office bearers. We were about 41 people who participated and elected the new office bearers unopposed, without proper delegates conference.
Leave it to me.
Let me finish the part.
Oh, please, go ahead.
We did all this in good faith and for the good of the party, intended to keep the party alive.
Leave it to me. This is the affidavit which was prepared by your lawyers, Barunji and who? Bayingana. And that was 14th September 2020. Now look at this one of 17th September 2020. Is that your affidavit also? Look at the last page which has a signature. Looking like yours. Is that your affidavit? Is that your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good. Dated when?
Dated 17th day of September 2020.
Where did you sign it from?
I think this is the one.
Where did you sign it from?
Goga Road.
Gaga Road. At what time?
At around 4 p.m.
Around 4 p.m. Good. Let me show you the paragraph I want you to read for court. You are literate. Read paragraph 7b, which I have underlined for you.
The resolution and minutes of the extraordinary delegates conference at Kati on 14th July 2020 are not true as such meeting did not take place. We sat as only 9 people and decided to rubber stamp the 3rd to 9th respondents as the new office bearers.
Okay.
After which we collected signatures, rubber stamped the decision, and even created necessary minutes for the resolutions.
Thank you. From 41 to 9, which of the 2 statements is correct? Which of the 2 is correct? At least these affidavits are not drafted by Upagan Company. Different lawyers. So, are they both your lawyers?
No.
So, is Bayingana, Birunji, and company advocates, are they your lawyers?
That's my advocate.
Answer the question. It's so simple. He's mentioning names, not personalities.
I don't know the company within which my lawyer traded from, my lord.
I think it's believable.
I don't know the company name, sir.
When you try to make what look like a circus, and
No, sir.
I don't know this one, it's this one. And you make it look so much.
Honestly, I can clear that for me, sir.
Because it's referring to 2 documents filed by 2 lawyers who came in. For that time, I think when the first lawyer came, the issue arose. as to whether it was Wamedi and others, and then it was it? But there was a lawyer who was on record here. Then the issue arose as to whether he was representing.
My lord, actually, he's the lawyer who presented that affidavit that we are referring to.
Exactly. So, when there are two documents, no use them. Unless they are saying Wamedi is an Elukwabo.
Well, maybe for health, my lord, we could be reminded not to take overdose. See him swallowing tablets. I still need him, my lord. I don't want him to disappear before I finish with him. Okay, Mr. Kibalama, who is your lawyer? Tell me. Tell Coach. Who is your lawyer? What by name? What is the name of your lawyer? No. Through the microphone.
My lawyer is seated on your right-hand side in the fourth.
He is called who?
Yes, sir.
He is called who? Do you know his name or you don't?
I did.
Call him Biamkam.
I don't recall his name.
How did you get to know him?
Through a friend of mine.
Which friend?
Called Sylvester.
The friend called Prosper. The one who introduced you.
Yes.
When was your first time meeting him?
Just within that week.
Which week?
Last week.
Last week. You met him last week. Did he come to Mbale? Please answer.
You mentioned about Kumbali.
Yes, I'm asking. Did he come to Mbale? That's where you met him from.
I met him in Kampala for the first time.
When?
I don't remember the particular day.
But you said it's last week.
It was last week. Could be Tuesday or Monday. Yes.
So when you met last week, what did you sign any documents with him?
No, I didn't sign any.
You did not sign any documents.
Because the documents were brought up in her stage.
Okay. So I'll now take you. I won't bother you so much, but answer the question. 41 people, 9 people in 2 different affidavits. Which one is correct? The one of 41 is the correct one.
The one of 9.
It says 9.
The one of 9. Okay. I will show you some document here. Please look at this document.
What's the document?
My lord, I'm going to introduce it after your talk. Does that document bear your signature?
It does.
It does. And what is the second signature on the document?
That's Brother Jojo Lodge.
Brother Jojo Dodge. Did you sign it as president of that party then?
Yes, sir.
And Odoki as what?
Secretary.
Now please read it for court. Know which document it is.
That at already the
Please read.
already the main body
Yes.
at second meeting of the Party National Executive Committee. You will hear that College Dean Hotel Wandigara on the 3rd November 2005. It was resolved that the quorum of an extraordinary delegates conference be set at 40 delegates, which is the same quorum as that of the ordinary delegates conference. By order of the National Executive Committee, signed by Honorable Moses Kibalama, President, Secretary.
Where is the origin of that document? Do you have it?
I wouldn't remember where this document is.
Okay.
But all I can assure you is that
It is your
this
document.
record is at the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
Because while we keep one copy of the document, the rest remains on file.
But that is your document.
Yes, I think.
Please return. So the National Executive Committee of your party then, which sat at its second meeting on 3rd November 2005, resolved that the quorum for extraordinary general meetings, delegates conference, be set at 40. Good. Do you know the number of delegates you have in this party?
The number of delegates,
Yeah.
you have more than 394.
Good. Since 2005, did you ever convene a meeting of the delegates conference?
I think it's better than that.
You did. Did you place this before the delegates conference? This.
Yeah, but you
Did you know?
also,
Did you or you did not?
I do not.
Hello. I am applying to tender this document owned by the witness through him as part of our evidence. And the reason I'm tendering the photocopy is because we are not in possession of the original. The witness is, and he has fully owned the contents thereof.
I would have no objection.
We pray that the same be received and that will be allowed later to make copies for the entire batch.
The document is admitted as disponible to the
Thank you, my lord. Mr. Kibalama. When you were founding this political party, was it your intention that you wanted to capture power through this party, through an election?
That's the purpose of all political parties.
I am asking about yours.
Yes,
Is it still your vision?
still my vision.
Are you still a member of the first respondent, the National Unity Platform, with whom you were sued?
I'm still a member. but
You're a
I'm
member.
satisfied.
I don't want the reason. I've taken your answer at face value this time. Who is your party president?
As of when?
As we speak.
Currently, the party is being led by Kibalama.
Robert Center. Sir, are you also aware, or no, is it also true that in this political party, you are the head of the elders and advisory committee?
No, I'm not aware.
You are not aware. But you said it at a press conference. Do you want to look at the video? Did you say it at a press conference?
Can remind me of that.
Yes, you said it at a press conference. That you gave the party to young people to lead it, and that you were leading the elders in the party. Do you now remember? Do you trust your memory?
I trust my memory. It's not anywhere in the 24 that I'm read whatever represented.
Is it somewhere in an unwritten form?
No.
Have you ever sat at a press conference with Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu
Where?
in Kampala here?
I remember one time
At Kamwatch. What did you state at that press conference? Okay.
I state in regard to what?
In regard to these people, Basile Defas and Tuala Hassan.
I tried to inform
Yes.
whoever was interested
Yes.
here that I knew Defas as a young man and Twala, both being relatives of my close friend, Colonel Juma Seiko. Because I was so close to Colonel Juma Seiko,
Yes.
he could come and reside at my Uwambo residence, and in most cases I would also come to reside in Kampala. So if I don't have transport to go home, just go and sleep at my house, and that was it.
So you knew Basile Defas and Tuala Hassan as relatives of your friend, Colonel Juma Seiko?
Yes.
Okay. Now, are they members of this party?
That's where it's not it, because
Yes.
Uncle Curtis,
Yes.
I delegated the two boys to come at this farewell hotel
Yes.
in 2005 to represent
Represent who?
the party
Mm.
at a political meeting that was taking place between the government of Uganda and the political forces that were meeting at the farewell hotel here.
Okay.
So that's the very first time that these people come on, within the party and to carry out activities of the party. And since then, we didn't.
Never saw them again.
Whenever I go to Juba Seko's house, and this boy was at Makerere University. He joined Makerere. He never had the time for the party and things like that, for political issues. So he remained there. He knows me, I know him. But it was such a friendly kind of basis that Basile is the one who used to cater for me when I'm at the residence of Juma Seiko, because they cook, they food for you, they do this kind of stuff. So I chose him and said, you will go to represent us in this capacity. And did in 2005, Basile and his uncle, former ambassador of Uganda to Russia, Mr. Sam Sakaja, who passed on, represented us at the farewell hotel meeting. Not as, because if you say whether it's a member of the party
You're not aware.
or not.
Okay. This case was filed on 24th August 2020. Have you, since then, had a discussion with Colonel Juma Seiko?
On phone.
Was it on phone? Okay. Did you discuss the case filed by his relatives against you?
Well, my concern to him as a friend
Yes.
is that, Juma, why should you have done that for our relatives without necessarily first informing me or meeting over and discussing issues, and we agree. So that was just
What
concerned.
was his response?
Oh, the other issues that he mentioned to me.
What did he say? You are now in court, just to remind you.
Well, he said he did not know the reason why the boys were behaving in such a manner. That's what he said. I don't know why those boys behaved in such a manner, because even I, as their uncle, I was never informed at all.
You have never met him since then?
I've never met him myself.
Okay. When you were being cross-examined by Mr. Eric Sabiti, you mentioned the circumstances which led you to where you are. One of them was being sidelined by the new leadership of the party. What? Sorry, you're shaking your head in disapproval?
Yes, indeed. Whether I'm certified or dissatisfied
Yes.
about this office, holding a certain office or the other, it's not my concern here.
You
It
said-
doesn't go down
In
in
your
my
heart.
own feelings that I'm aggrieved because I don't have a position. No.
Yes, you said that's one of the reasons, but then what could be the other reasons or the circumstances that could have led you into this?
Mr. Sekuna,
Yes.
I don't understand the circumstances I talked to
Yes.
about being here.
Yes.
Is that you are fully aware that I was disconnected with public affairs with normal life about 2 weeks ago. I hear my house is being secured by organizations that I don't understand. So from that moment up to today,
Yes.
I'm here because of those circumstances that I can't explain. Now, I don't know those circumstances that cannot be explained by me. That's why I'm here. Under very unclear circumstances. Although I've come now to understand there is a court case, and I'm here to answer for and on behalf of the court.
Who informed you that you were required to come to court today?
Someone smuggled court. Someone smuggled a newspaper in a place where I was. And said, Mr. Kibalama, you're going to court. Look at this. I looked at the newspaper, and yes, it is true that
You were required.
that's the time I understood I was required here. That's it. I didn't have any control over myself.
Who had control over yourself?
I don't know, because I don't know.
You know. You were also filmed saying that the leadership of the National Unity Platform reached their agreement with you. Were you expressing your mind freely, or you had some other form circumstances that you cannot explain?
I request for your protection, sir. He's asking me whether that clip was under duress or whatever means you want to go into this. You honor me.
So the challenge is if we have not sworn contradictory affidavits and maybe appeared for cross-examination, there have been a civil way of doing it. So you come here and testify and say, these are the circumstances. And sometimes when you invite yourself into throwing different documents now, Mr. Sebuna, you
Well,
would rephrase the question.
Yes, my lord, I'm making as much restraint as possible professionally, but this is the witness who is before you. And if he needs your protection, he will have to state it. May I ask you, therefore, Is there any way you would like God to assist you out of the circumstances where you are?
Well, at the moment,
Yes.
I wouldn't say such a thing because we've been here where we are.
Yes.
There's a degree of protection, which is not of my own,
Yes.
but I hope at the end of this cross-examination, things may change for the better.
You hope things may change for the better.
I hope.
Okay. Well, I can perfectly understand the agony of an old man shedding tears in circumstances of this nature. You will forgive me, but I will ask some questions very politely and ask you to compose yourself as you answer them. You've had a meeting with the Director General of the Internal Security Organization. Was that your free will in that meeting? Before. So you've never met him up to now? And the CDF?
I met the CDF.
When? Yes. When was this meeting?
It was also another Sunday.
Yes.
There was a guy from Kayunga.
Yes.
Of course, our vehicle being monitored.
Okay.
And you get your telephone and say, hello, we see where you are, and we need you here. We need you to answer a few questions here. So since we are not criminals of any nature, we thought we would go there and explain ourselves.
Yes.
So I went in. It was a cordial kind of chat.
Yes.
But about 4 or 5 questions, which one needed to answer. Gave the answer. You eventually told us that you are free. Go to your home. That's all.
And you went.
Yes.
And the discussion was about national interplatform, confirmed.
It was about national unity.
Was it about treason? Nothing like treason. But you're discussing about the change of leadership and name of the party. Was security concerned that this could be illegal?
That what we believe.
That the change of name and leadership could be illegal?
No, I didn't have such a concern.
No, from their perspective as security of the country.
I just wondered, something comes as a surprise.
Indeed.
And you say, oh, so by making internal changes would be
security would be
questionable.
Yes.
At a higher level.
Yes. Who else attended that meeting apart from the CDF?
My Lord, I request that don't answer that question.
I can drop it.
Yes, sir.
And I understand the circumstances. Have you since met the President of the Republic?
Never.
Not much.
No.
So when you left the CDF's office, you proceeded home, right?
I went home.
You went home. Until when?
I think I met the CDF on Sunday,
Yes.
but I think it was a Tuesday.
Yes.
As I was driving from home.
Yes.
That's when I was talked by some individuals in civilian courts asking me issues, which issues were very well explained.
The issues related to this party game.
It's an election for the party.
Yes.
But it wasn't much. They didn't do anything wrong then.
Yes.
They said, can we see you by 4 p.m.? I said, fine.
Yes.
At 4 p.m.,
Yes.
at this time, this is where I am.
Up to this time, this is where you are. Okay, was this before or after you had signed these 2 affidavits that I have shown you?
That was before.
That was
Listen.
that was before you signed the affidavit.
No, wait. I had signed the affidavit with my lawyers.
Okay.
I signed the affidavit with my lawyers. There was no duress, there was no nothing wrong. So, the issue of affidavit, clearly, I wouldn't say.
Did you used to issue political party membership cards in your party
In which period?
before you handed over office?
Our party never issued membership card because of reasons. We are a young political party with no funding from anywhere. Now, if you bring in people by way of giving cards, these people would come down maybe a year or 2 so, and put false claims of such. So we are going to issue party cards.
You have answered my question. Would you look at this supplementary affidavit of yours and in particular read paragraph 9.
I swear that this affidavit to supplement my spending affidavit drawn by Barungi Bayingana and company advocates, the contents of which speak the truth as I stand, and I stand by.
Which means, therefore, you had also instructed Bayingana and Bayingana Barungi and company advocates. That's why you were supplementing their affidavit.
Yes, sir.
Now, would you want, I really find another way of phrasing it, would you want this court to help you in regaining your freedom? This court is powerful enough to do it.
I wish.
You wish the court would help you
Yes.
regain your freedom.
Please, stop your ground.
First, Mr. Kibalama, as a lawyer for the last 18 years, sometimes we are misunderstood. Please understand my questions in good faith, as you did say. We talked about good faith. Would you want your family to visit you wherever?
Well, it's unfortunate that my family is not in Uganda. They could have visited you to be around.
You would have wanted them. At some point, you, because you're still in those hands, I will not answer this question. You will forgive me.
If you are done,
No, I am not done. I was asking a question that I consider pertinent, but again for the security of the gentleman. Yes, true, my lord. Well, with that, my lord, I'll rest my case. I express sympathy to you, and I wish you luck in regaining your freedom.
Please, avoid your grammar.
So, Mr. Kibalama, I would like you to make clarify some things which I have stated when you are being cross-examined. The first one, you are saying you need code relate to you.
Someone is transcribing to another way.
Or in the end of my lord, also for the second and 9th respondents. So, Mr. Kibalama, you have asked me the last question, and you have stated that you wish code to help you regain your freedom. Which freedom do you want code to help you regain? And who has taken it away from you? Just feel free to ask.
Well, it's in the public domain, and then the newspapers everywhere, that some of my colleagues and friends have been honestly looking for me on many occasions, and they failed to find me until some organ had to clarify that we have it.
Okay.
Sexually.
Listen now. Those colleagues you are referring to, who you are saying have been hurting for you, are you referring to Shagulanyi Setam, third respondent, David Lewis, Aisha Kavanda, Joel Senyonyi, and those others you know who are sweet together with you? Are they the ones you are referring to?
Not at all.
Then which colleagues are you referring to? Tell what it is. My lord, I would want to clarify your case. You are obliged to.
For them, they were free to throw a type of questions.
You are obliged.
When they begin now getting 17 was not comfortable disclosing. Now you are opening.
We are obliged to close. Now, you've just stated that the one Center Muchagulanyi is the current new president. So, would you briefly tell me when was he voted in office as the president of the party?
I understand he was voted on 17th. Of June, in a delegates conference at Kachiri.
Of which year? In which year was it?
This year.
This year.
Yes.
You know people who participated in the election?
Objection, my lord, it never arose.
Then you said that you have talked to your colleagues to mobilize facilitation.
My?
Mobilize facilitation for a meeting.
Yes.
Which meeting are you referring to?
Meeting was in 2018, the Hotel Triangle meeting.
You are saying which meeting?
The Hotel Triangle meeting. That's where we require the funds to facilitate the delegates.
Now, what purpose for that intended meeting you talked about?
The main purpose of the intended meeting was to have the party name changed from NURP to NUP. That was the purpose, sole purpose.
Now, whom had you said would facilitate that meeting?
That particular meeting would be facilitated
By who?
by, I would say by Chiabulani, but I would say by that grouping, people power. Because the main interest of that meeting was to have that name there, so that the name could fit in our activities. So they had to finance it, which they didn't do.
So, in brief, are you telling God it never took place?
I object, my lord. In re-examination, you do not give answers to witness.
You're obliged, my lord.